Cast episode. We'll be going over the full season so far, which has only been one Cup race and two Xfinity races and two truck races. I got some guys with me, guests with me here. We got Gavin, Small, and DK.
Sup? I just did something weird in the William Byron Bumblebee reject car, but I'll get in on that another time.
Anyways, let's start off right from Truck Series at Daytona. We saw an interesting race. About 10 guys showed up. And really it looks like guys like DK had a good truck all day. And turns out DK was ended up being your winner of the race, as he is here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting the win for Hendrick Motorsports and its truck team. Also, I just want to say... no, you go ahead. I think so. Yeah, we had a little bit of problems with that. Yeah, that definitely played a part in the race. But at the end there, DK was able to put very good blocks on Gomez and take him the victory. Let's move up to Xfinity Series at Daytona. This was a very entertaining race. Gavin, were you there, or is that no? I think you had to go to your grandma's or something, right? Yeah, I think so. But anyways, Aubie ended up coming out with the win. Congratulations to him, getting a win for CRM. Um, Wait, what? Okay. Okay. Interesting opinion there. So let's talk about a bit of the final lap here. We're 3x3 on the backstretch, and Luke and Boy driving in for Boger, who had to do some stuff in the 54 Denny Hamlin machine, actually wrecked on the backstretch on the final lap. Something that really I didn't expect from Luke and Boy there, but Luke and Boy had I don't know what, he had a bad car. It's just he was in the back most of the race, and definitely not what I expected from what I expect to be a top tier driver here in the Pepsi Cup Series. Gavin, what do you think mostly about that performance? DK, what do you personally think about that finish and Aubie getting the win?
Not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure I wasn't there, but it's pretty cool to see one of my buds. Like we both started racing leagues together, and I kind of know how he drives, but wasn't expecting him to pull off a win, especially holding off Boger. But
And yep. So we're going to flashback to the duels here, and that Small actually cannot make the Daytona duel, so he unfortunately would not be able to race in the 500. But Small, can you explain what ended up happening? Yeah, Cooper cannot make the 500s. And yeah, Hendrick had a lot of replacement drivers for that race. A lot of Hendrick drivers could not make it. I think me and Gavin were the only full-time Hendrick drivers that actually made the race, right? Oh, you're not full-time Hendrick, you're part-time, but that's like the only guy that... Me...
Oh, oh yeah.
Oh, here we go. So, Gavin, what's your personal opinion? What do you think about the
You
other
know,
guys for Red Bull Racing, like NASCAR 1710 and JBL, who has not made a start yet this season, but did pretty good in the Xfinity race? By far.
by far.
Gavin, remember he was in the 500, remember? He was that guy that got put in the pits and wrecked.
GVL never did, man. I'll take it back.
And about more teams as well. From a quick look from the truck series for Nice Motorsports with a small, how good do you think that team's going to be this season?
Oh man. Well, so far, I don't know about anyone else, but they're kind of on my bad foot for this season. After what happened at, what was it, Vegas for trucks?
Yep.
Yeah, that. Look, we do have 2 in a row in the truck series. We got Vegas and, what was it?
Daytona.
Yeah, got 2 in a row. Not bad. Not a bad start for me in that series, but yeah, 45 wrecking me for the win and wrecking the field for, good position. So not exactly on my right foot, so, you know.
Oh yeah, I definitely think Small, you're definitely a contender to get the truck championship, especially when guys like Boger and Go Boom are not racing for truck points. So it's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to see what this team can pull off. Charlie was penalized after his basically LePaging of fuels in the Las Vegas race. He blew a tire. So before you guys think that hey, he was loose blowing a tire, no, you guys are about to see the real truth here. So I don't really know what his thought was here. I didn't really know what Charlie was thinking at all. But what he decided to do was, instead of staying, he was like turning low into the inside wall, which is kind of what we wanted him to do. At this point, there's like 3 laps left in the stage, so if aim caution comes out, it's over, So, man, it just shocked me to see this, but basically, what happened was, just shocks me to see this, but he was sliding towards the inside wall, right, and it was fine, it was perfect, and then he shifted into second gear and then proceedably drove up the track. Mind you, he has a right rear tire blown, so he already made a mistake turning into second gear, and he comes up and fuels had nowhere to go. No blame on his side. And man, it just, yeah. What do you? I mean, small. What do you personally think of that move? According to you? And yeah, yeah, definitely not the best move. Um, you know, the chat rating that happened. Don't really want to touch on this topic too much, but when I got offline last night, Looney rated the PS chat, but we were able to get it rebuilt and fix everything before things got too bad. Um, Gavin, what do you personally think about that rating, and what's your opinion on it? It just shocked me as a whole, but we're gonna move away from that topic. Back to the Xfinity race. We had actually a late race restart, overtime. And I was able to end up pulling away there as, according to Bugger, he got held up small. What did you personally see from there? Yeah. Um, yeah, I definitely think lag was involved, considering the fact that going in the turns 1 and 2, I heard a huge thud to the point where it's like, okay, like the only two ways you hear that thud is if like the field's wrecking or something like that, or there's lag and someone just got lag. So, um, that's what I heard. Thud. Oh wait, what news, Gavin? Oh yes, you have. Joe Gibbs
Oh,
Racing.
Joe Gibbs. Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's a
have.
that's a yeah. Rowdy Motorsports has a new owner as well, Boger.
Yes, Boger after. Yeah,
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 because of
after
Boger.
the truck
Boger
race,
straight up
actually.
kicked him. That was his first. That was Boger's first like demand. Kick Gomus out of the 11.
Oh yeah, and guys, let's touch on that situation real quick. According to Boger in the truck race, I obviously did not have a good view at all of seeing this, but according to Boger, Gomu straight up ruined his chance and the Boger's chance at getting a victory over DK. DK, what did you personally see from that situation?
I didn't really exactly see a lot. I wasn't yet again. I was battling for the lead and got the win, but I heard over the radio transmission. That's what you guys call it here. Boger saying stuff like Gomus put him in the wall 3 separate times and stuff like that. I don't know. Gomus was struggling, but I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Mm-hmm. Um, all right,
Yeah,
so
that's bad luck.
I think one thing we need to touch on is maybe this has something to do with a lot of NASCAR controversy or restricted plate tracks. If you're wondering what we're about to talk about, just all you need to think of is Denny Hamlin last season at Talladega on the final lap.
Oh yeah.
So, this is about in my league. We tested this out in Iraq. We did a few test sessions of it. No WL line roll on the final lap. Now, Small, what do you think of this rule, and do you think it can maybe pan out into the Pepsi Cup Series later on? Especially because, you know, I know it just. I'm always like that kind of guy that likes to stick with the just original rules and stuff like that, but especially this is like one of the first things that like a new rule that I actually might not mind in like a video game. And now in real life, someone would get killed with this rule. I'm not even just going to lie. I don't know about you guys' opinions, but I think someone could get seriously injured if this rule was taking place. But um, I think, especially in video games like this, that it could create some awesome finishes. And also on the final lap, if you're in the lead on the inside lane, instead of you just being like, okay, all I need to have to do is block the inside lane because that's the preferred lane and I won the race. Instead, you got to block down under the WL line. And if people use this rule smart, instead of going all the way to the inside wall or anything like that, and gain the IQ to move up over the apron before the corner, I think this rule could pan out to be a very interesting rule. DK, what do you personally think about this?
Oof. Really, really interesting rule. It's been a rule in racing. I'm pretty sure of that. But in a league like this, oof, it might change quite a bit. Also, if we're going to be talking about that line as well.
Also, I just want to say, a lot of people say in this game that if you win a trick plate league race, it doesn't require skill or anything. I personally don't agree with that, with even with or without this rule, because obviously holding your line, especially when you hit the apron and learning when to let off when you're pushing someone, definitely requires skill. It's not like when you just get the game and you get, like, start racing and stuff, driving aids on or off. Like, that just doesn't, yeah, that just doesn't mean, it's just, every track in this game requires skill no matter what. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it comes to IQ too. This is, yeah, this is exactly why. And those people freaking out over 3 and 4 wide situations are the people that say restrict plate racing requires no skill most of the time. So it's a little weird, but at the same time, with this rule, it requires even more skill. I think with this rule, more people would shut up about it. Not that that would play a part into the decision making. But I personally think this would be entertaining, and I think people wouldn't be so pissed off after a race if they lost, especially considering that, in my mind, the better the finish, even if you lost, the less mad you are, to be honest. And all.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just saying, on the backstretch, this can get crazy. This can actually force people to play a little bit of a strategy game here. It's like, do you let off, form a pack in the back behind the leaders, and then try the yeah, don't let off too much. Like, stay in the leader's groove a little bit, and then on the final lap, you get that run off the draft, and then you slingshot past everybody. And if you block someone under the WL line on the final lap, it's not like it's obviously you cut him off, but it's not like you destroyed his race or anything, because there can always be that charging guy behind to pick you up and draft you. So
Most definitely.
it can be interesting.
There's always that one guy that's looking for a way to get up there, and they're gonna try.
And in the IROC race, this was going fine. This WL line rule, no WL line rule on the final lap. I was expecting a crazy finish, but Mr. DF kind of destroyed any chance of that. I'm just going to hand it off to Gavin here. What did you see happen? No, Gavin, this is in the IROC race. This is in the IROC race. Talladega, remember, on the final lap? Yeah. So I was going to ask Gavin, and just in case he wanted to put his point of view out, but I was right next to Charlie basically when this happened. Well, not right next to him, but right behind him. So on the final lap, we go and we get about not mid backstretch, but like near mid. I'm talking about like 1/3 of the backstretch down. So this is just still confuses me. So everyone goes under the WL line a little bit. Like, you don't want to get too far under there, because the more you have to come up the track, the more time you lose, and that's back to my point that it requires more skill to do to win here at Talladega and Daytona with this rule, because it requires you to calculate how far you need to go down to where if you come back up, you won't lose much time. So that's back to my other point. But anyway, so everyone's down there just a little bit. They're not trying to kill themselves, you know, but all of a sudden, all of a sudden, Mr. DF,
Yep.
we're in a line about the draft
Yep.
past, I believe it was Speedy Gamer. Yes, it was Speedy Gamer who would actually end up winning this race. We were drafting past him. In fact, Charlie probably had a better chance of winning if he stayed in line with us. But instead, he goes down. I'm not going to be sarcastic and say he went down to the inside wall. He went very low. Like, he went out of the groove. Just, where was he going? And back to my point about the farther you come up.
He was going to 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Yeah, he was that kind of guy that... Yeah, that's like how low you go when you're about to lag out and your car's spinning. He was... And remember what I said about the farther down low you go, the less and less momentum you gain going up? Well, good thing for Charlie... He just made the perfect, him doing that on the backstretch just made the perfect recipe for a slide up in front of the leader, not the leaders, because Speedy Gamer and these other three guys were pulling away, in front of me and Gavin and whoever else was behind us, just completely slowing us up. I'm telling you, I probably went down 5 to 10 miles per hour. He was going slow, much slower. And it just pissed everyone off, you know? And again, back to this point, you have to be very smart about this rule. You can't just go all the way down low. I'm pretty sure that's the iRockers. Hey, back to this point, I'm pretty sure this is an obvious question, but DK, do you think this rule would be better at Daytona or Talladega?
Probably most likely. Oh my. My bad. I'm just practicing. But they most likely probably Talladega, because Talladega is just. I would say it's more unpredictable because anything can happen there. Because you're going faster than you usually are at Talladega. Well, wait, you're going faster than Daytona. My bad. Excuse me. You're going like what 200 something at Talladega, and Daytona you're at least going just barely 200. But at Talladega anything can happen, so it would most likely be better at Talladega in my opinion.
And DK, I'm pretty sure you're correct by a long shot, because basically a country mile, because at Talladega, since there's no grass on the backstretch, unlike there used to be, you can go low. You can actually go low with really the only consequence is if you go low enough, like very low, you'll have trouble getting back up in the turn stream forward. But otherwise from that, so anyways, the reason why everyone hates it at Daytona, and the reason why I'll hope probably never happen at Daytona, it might, but who knows, is because legit there's grass on the backstretch, like mid backstretch. So it really, the only part of this rule at Daytona that could be effective is maybe like the first third of the backstretch, and I'm telling you, you have to get up quickly unless if you want to go in the chicane. And then if you don't want to do that on the backstretch, turns 1 and 2 is a terrible idea, and because legit it's just terrible. And the only chance you have is coming out of turns 4 onto the front stretch, which I'm pretty sure if this rule ever comes in at Daytona, that's where people will try to make their move, coming into the tri-oval.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, I'm still doing practice.
yeah, back to, hey, why not put in our predictions for the Cup race tomorrow? Who do you guys personally think is going to win this one?
Like IRL or in the league? Oh, no, never mind.
And I most definitely agree with Small there as, okay, let's get now to a point of, who do you think is winning the Cup race, tomorrow at Las Vegas?
Oof.
In my league.
Tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow's Saturday.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of good guys out there.
Let's kick it off with DK here.
All right. Well, I've been watching a few drivers out there on the field. You know, I would most definitely go with Boger, but you know, his temper kind of gets to him, and you see where that ended him up last race. And what was it, Xfinity?
Yeah, and
When,
also
the
you
truck
see where that
series
temper
and the
went
truck
in the
race.
truck race when he lost.
Yeah, and when I won, haha, suck it, Boger. Haha. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hold up, Gavin. So, who's your like long shot to win this race, DK?
I would say you, Orange. I would say you, Elijah. Most
Okay.
definitely. You've always been up front, and I want to see you got to win. You got to win this season, right?
In Xfinity at Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, you got to win. So yeah, you've been up there up front. You've been battling in the lead mostly every league race or every race. So I will go with you.
All right. On the Gavin, who do you think's going to win your race and who win this race, and who do you think's going to be the long shot? By long shot, I mean if let's say if your pick to win the race maybe gets wrecked, screwed, or something like that, who do you think's winning this thing?
You can't choose yourself. Come on.
Charlie's
Charlie.
League.
Who's the worst driver?
Gavin, it's not really who the worst driver is. It's really like it's more that like I just oh my god. I just all right, fine. Long shot yourself, I guess. We're going to move on to my pick. I personally think that Boger is probably going to win this race. He had the fastest car, most definitely in the Xfinity race, no doubt. But maybe his temper might get to him, and maybe some stuff might go down with what DK and Small was saying earlier. But definitely my long shot to win this race is probably, I'm just going to say it, let's go Moose. It's going to be interesting, but if he's in second on the final lap on the leader's bumper, I definitely expect the leader getting the bumper, or maybe just both of them wrecking in the final corner.
2. This is
Ooh,
interesting. Whoop. Again, we're accusing ourselves again.
So
Everyone's
DK has
picking
2
me.
picks. Alright guys, we're gonna wrap it up, our first NASCAR Pepsi Cup Series podcast, right here,
Oh yeah.
so, yep, you can, if you all would thank, Small, DK, and Gavin for showing up here today for the podcast. They take time out of their day to do this and stuff. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like the stream or whatever podcast. Yeah, subscribe to Small's channel, at DK Designs.
That's not my
I don't know what your channel is. How am I supposed to know?
DK is Carnage. DK is Carnage.
Okay, DK is Carnage, not DK Designs. And Gavin McLemore. Make sure to like
That's
and
just my
subscribe.
design
Make
company.
sure to subscribe to them. Again, they take time out of their day to do this. And I don't know what to say now, so we're just going to end it here at 37 minutes exactly. Yeah.